Hello, Christchurch Network. You've got me this week for a bit of a network news update because Mark is away on retreat. I'm going to be getting some time just to take some space to focus in on prayer, to spend time with God, to step away from the day-to-day in a few weeks, a couple of weeks after half term. And Mark's taking that this week. So let's be praying for Mark, praying that he will be refreshed and renewed, brought closer again to Jesus in his discipleship walk, and filled with fresh energy, and particularly as we sit in this very strange time, this time of emerging after a really difficult year, and as we're now coming into an unknown future. It's a great time to think about how you might take some space as well. Things are starting to open up. Things are starting to become more possible. We can see family and friends more easily. We can go and sit inside a cafe or a pub. There's space now for us to start breathing a little bit more easily. But I guess my sense is I'm trying to be cautious about my instinct to rush at things because I recognise that I am tired. It's been a long year. And so as we come into this time, Mark and I have spoken about the need that we've said to each other we need to make sure we're taking some retreat time just to pause, to take stock, to reconnect with God, to reconnect with ourselves. And I encourage you in whatever way that seems possible to do that for yourselves. It might be you can't get away for a couple of days. It might be you can't get away for a day. Could you have an evening where instead of knocking the TV on, you just put some music on quietly and sit and just take some space for you and God, get an early night? Could you go and walk in a beautiful place, whether that's your own garden or down on the beach? We've got loads of places where actually there can just be space for your soul, where you can find that space to breathe, to connect, to meet with God, and to start talking through some of what's gone on. And so I just really encourage you to think, where could you find those places for restoration? We see Jesus do it. It's a good thing that he's modelled for us. And as you do that, maybe once you've done that for yourself, please do. We'd love to encourage everyone to try and make space by next Wednesday. So don't do too long. But to have a look at the Reimagine questions that we've sent out. It's been sent out now on email. It's on Facebook, and there's going to be some space next Monday and Tuesday morning while the cafe's open 10 till 12 for you to come in, and there'll be one or more from people from the staff team who are going to be waiting in the cafe if you don't have access to a computer, if you want a bit of a hand filling it in. So please, we really would like to hear as many people's voices as possible. It's not long, but what we'd love is for you to give some prayerful time just to sit with these questions, to be asking God and listening to his voice. That's the best way that we hear God as the church, is when we're all having a part of this conversation, and your answers are going to feed into some conversations we're going to have as clergy staff team and with network leaders, as we kind of work out what's the next steps forward in the coming weeks, months, and where's God leading us in the next few years. So it's big stuff, and we'd love to have your voice in there. I mentioned it in the email send out, but it strikes me that as we come towards Pentecost this weekend, that actually we've got a lot more in common this year maybe with the early church, with the small group of disciples who waited there, than we normally would. They were locked away. They weren't quite sure what was going to happen next, and they had no blueprint for the future. They didn't know what was going to happen, but they'd been told by Jesus, you guys, you just need to wait here and the Holy Spirit will come. And we can still have that same promise here. We might still have spent a long time locked away. We still are not certain about the future. We're not sure where God's going to lead. We don't have a blueprint for what's going to happen, but we can still hold tight to that promise as well. Wait and receive the Holy Spirit. The Spirit is going to is with us already, and as we wait and we reconnect with God, as we make space, God promises to fill us again and again, to refresh and renew us, so that we can be part of God's ongoing work of restoring, rebuilding and renewing our church, our network, our town and our nation. One life at a time, one conversation at a time. So, find some retreat space, have a break, have a breather. Please do have a look at the Reimagine questions. We'd love for as many people as possible to do this. And may you be filled again with the Holy Spirit as we come to celebrate Pentecost together this weekend. As we're filled, let's listen for the voice of the Spirit. Let's dare to dream dreams of what God might do in our time, in our town, in our own hearts, as we continue together, joining in with his work of rebuilding, renewing and restoring all things. God bless you.